Hello and welcome to Dario Comics, and today we talk about how my comic came about, how I met my mentor, not my mentor, my one of my mentors, RALF König, and Frank Plein in a workshop, and how my dream grew from 2013 to make comics to then grew in January of 2014 to make comics for my patrons, to find 1,000 or true fans who would pay me $2 each month. So I had a salary of 2,000 euros. How or maybe 2,000 fans who would give me $1. Like, that was the original dream. How the original dream got kind of lost because of life and normal things you learn along the way. And yeah, this channel I'm starting, and it's hopefully an educational channel, a channel that maybe for all you, I don't know, are there comic schools? Are there traditional ways to get into comics? Like, best thing is you make a comic, you make a good one, and then you start or you keep making good comics, so people you're a comic artist, or you're a writer, or you're a colorist, or you're all together. And yeah, let's get into that. And I have here a couple of business books that helped me in the summer of 2014, and we have here two books of people I attended a workshop then, and we're talking a bit about my youth and why this is all important. So let's get into it. In fall of 2013, I was thinking, man, I always wanted to do comics. That's the purpose of my life. That's all I always did, like watch movies, but and I could be a movie maker, but I just love the medium comic, this and print it out, and I can give it to someone and he can read it, and it's a complete and finished thing, and it can be everything you want to be. You could open this page and it could be a splash page of a dystopian future, or it could be dinosaurs in space, or what do I know, like everything. Like, comic is the ultimate medium. It is. Animation is fine, movies are fine, but this, like, it is on my own. I don't want to praise like that you gotta do always everything on your own, because like in life everything is a community effort, and the really successful things can only survive and live and thrive if we do it together. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, you can be the author and the authority of this. You can color it any way you want. You can draw whatever you want, and you can make sure people understand what you're saying. So, in summer of 2014, I was like, making comics is a lot of skills, and it's not only the drawing, the writing, the coloring, the publishing. It was also like, I was a small business. I was applying to be a small business because like I was working money. I was making money. I wish I was working money. I was trying to learn to draw, and I saw myself as an illustrator who takes jobs, and I did. Like I did for, wait a second, like for example, I did for the Buff Dudes. Like, they have a channel, they have a fitness channel, and one day we worked together, and they told me, man, wouldn't you like to make a comic? We're paying you, and we will go into these pages. I will show you the original pages, the original inks, how I drew them. And it's not my best work, but that was the best I could do at the time, and I was really proud doing this. I put my everything into it. Yeah, and I am kind of proud because it's really cool. But yeah, I could do better work today, and that's clear. As time goes on, you get better. And this one I stole from, I guess, Mignola from Hellboy. But yeah, you steal, you make it your own, I guess. What do I mean with steal? Like, be inspired and try yourself out. And as you can see, these are 4 colors and it still works. And then, yeah. So I was working commissions, comics for other people, and I was trying to make my comics so I could post this for Patreons and give the Patreons comics. Like, they would pay me so that I could make these, and a lot of these, like not just The Last Pickup Artist, but I have tons of ideas. And every time they would see like, whoa, I like that, let's sign up, let's become a $1 Patreon, and let's get for $12 4 comics a year, or I don't know, like if I could draw monthly I would do it, but I'm always interested in quality. I wouldn't deliver shit. So that was not my concern. So I was reading up on a good book on the business side, and I will read this again this time, and why most small businesses don't work and what to do about it. Yeah, you got to do a franchise, you got to build a system. He talks about McDonald's, that it's not the best burger shop, but they're very consistent, and that they have everything. They have consistency, and so they put out things and people know what to expect. And most small businesses, as I, fail because we try to do everything alone, and it cannot work because like I cannot. Oh, what do I mean? I mean, I can, but it takes a long time and it stresses you out because like I'm making this comic, I'm do the layouts, I do the colors. It takes time. Where does the money come from? How do you make other things? Are you just doing this? And you know, it's a lot of work. So that book will be read again. And then I was into Rich Dad Poor Dad, also a very good book that teaches you a bit about the mindset. And I followed this, and it's still a really good book. And I think from time to time you get lost. Like I did a lot of stuff the past few years, and I also started teaching classes. I was teaching workshops, going on Comic Cons, tried also different stuff, just painting pictures, doing commissions, and it was all cool, doing a bit of YouTube. But yeah, this is what I'm coming to after this year of Corona, because right now I cannot really teach, and I think like I have to learn and grow myself. Like this is my first book, but yeah. And then I come back to this RALF KÖNIG. He made a pretty fat comic book, as you can see, and it is in this style, and it is about gays and hetero people, and it's really funny. And when I was young, I hadn't much, I didn't have much choice on what to do, so I was always hanging out in the library, because yeah, that was kind of the only place a young nerd could go. And so in the library I found cool comics, and this was made into a very successful German movie called Der bewegte Mann, with very popular actors at a time. And I watched the movie and it was fantastic. It was cool, it had nudity in it, it was funny, it had cool, she was pretty, he was cool, they were really funny. Like it was a hit movie. And then everybody said like, the movie is from a book, it's from a comic book, and so why not? And in 2015 I was working for animation. 2014 I was doing comics, I was doing Barbarian Adventure, and it worked a bit with Patreon, but I wasn't ready back then. Like Barbarian Adventure didn't have the quality and didn't have the reach, and I was too slow and a lot of things. So I went to go back. I went back to animation and worked there. And then in 2015, I said to myself, man, if I'm working so much for other people, why not work for myself? And so I quit again, took the money, and thought, let's try it again. And I went to a workshop with RALF KÖNIG and Frank Plein in Köln, Cologne, and attended that workshop. And it was not cheap, I guess, I don't know, 300 or 500 euros for 2 to 3 days. I don't know, but it was a lot of money. I was young back then, or was I young? I don't know. But yeah, you get the idea. Like it was a big chunk of money. But I thought to myself, if I'm serious, I should put up the money and go there. And then I went there, and these two are comic artists and gave great advice with a small class of only, I don't know, maybe 7 people, girls and boys, or women and men, however you want to call it. And I was presenting back then The Last Pickup Artist, but it had nothing to do with me and nothing to do with my hero. Like it was the theme was there about a pickup artist and a girl, but it wasn't a personal story. And as you can see, this is a personal story, but it's also fictionalized. It plays in a future world. Like I mixed it up. And when I was telling my story, he thought, okay, why is this important to you? And I told, like, I wanted always to have a girlfriend, but I had no guidance. And then I was into the pickup artists, but as I can see in the mainstream, nobody talks about this, and they really can help. And then you kind of stumble into self-help, and then you stumble into why the world is so fucked up and all that stuff. And it was very superficial. It wasn't starring myself in it and my hero. So it was a character called Eric and a killer called Jackie. And it was a cool story, but it wasn't as cool as it could be. And RALF KÖNIG then told me, I don't know if it's a picture of him here in the book, and Frank Plein, but he told me, why don't you make it a bit more personal and carve out what is really important to you, and why don't you come back to the core, to the essence of what's really important. And so I came then home from Cologne, and I was reading this book, and it was about what I want to do, where do I want to go. You need to have a plan. What do you need to do? Like what it's about plot. It's about structure. And while I was reading this and getting really serious about my career or the things I wanted to do, like I really wanted to do comics. I was reading 10 years earlier than that, Rebel Without a Crew from Robert Rodriguez, and it was about making a movie on your own, the movie you want to do with a low budget, be dangerous, do it, scare everybody, show them what you can. And while I was thinking that, I had pictures in my mind. I mean, what if this happens? Like pictures came to my mind. What if there's a truck and pickup artists are hunted now because Trump is getting president or elected? This was in 2016. And what if he meets a Dario on the streets like me, and he encounters him, and his girlfriend dumped him? Like very crazy stuff, but stuff that happened to me, but then in a fictionalized way, like putting these characters together. Like he solves the problem, he has a problem, and they are now together in the situation, and we start to understand the world and how maybe this could be this way. So I was sharing to the world my experience, my personal experience, but through this character. And also like this is the problems and this is what you can do about it. Of course, this comic is from 2016, so all the drawings are pretty much outdated. But yeah, I did this, and I did this for the Comic-Con, and I printed it, and in 2016 then I went to the Comic-Con, and the comic was well received. I had a book there. I was like not a young star, because like the German comic scene may be small, and I mean, look at the drawings. I mean, I think they're awesome. I think it is a piece of art. I truly do. But at the same time, like, you could do better. I could do better now, and yeah, I mean, just moving on. And I guess if I want to make a career out of this, I gotta stick to it and make it sequential or do it. But yeah, I got lost in work. I got lost in missing out. I got lost in just working jobs. Like, I was doing then illustration, but I didn't have the time to make this. And of course, with everything in time, like, this was very fresh. I had it in my heart. I wanted to put it out, but then I was doing other stuff, and so this gets on the back burner, and then it gets cold, and then you don't know. But I want to finish it and then do something else. And of course, I was just learning back then and stealing things and copying, because like I didn't know everything. But yeah, still, I'm kind of proud of it. And the conclusion of this is, yeah, you need to have maybe the business side. We will go into this, because like this channel will be like how to make it, then maybe how can you do your jobs and earn your money doing illustrations while you do comics, or can you go all in on your Patreons and deliver a great experience. I think also that the YouTube channel is very needed, because like everybody I see succeeding on Patreon has a YouTube channel, has a product. The YouTube is there for entertainment, for education, but also for showing. And then once in a while, when they have a product, they say, back it, support my Patreon, or let's do a Kickstarter with it. And so I think that's the route I'm going now. I was setting up the whole last year, time, internet, computer, camera, everything, so I could now start. And this one, I didn't talk about this one. Yeah, let's talk a thing about this. Make it personal. Have something to say. Or if you have nothing to say, make it at least fun. Try it out. And there's a lot of stuff you can do. Like, look, this guy made a whole book, and it got made into a movie with drawings like this. And it's a great story, and the drawing style fits the story, and it's really huge, and it's an epic. So find your style or copy your hero, because like, I guess this guy loved another guy who drew like this, so he adapted his style. And if we think Jeff Smith, I think he loved Carl Barks, so he adapted that style, and so on and so on and so on. Like Frank Miller loved Hugo Pratt. We will come to all these comics, because like, that's now what I'm shaping this. This will be the comic school you cannot afford. And if you want, you can support me on Patreon, or you can buy my comics. We're just starting out. And yeah. And for this, we will come to this. This is like what I was reading in my youth when I was a lonely nerd. And as you can see, like, cool comics. I guess this is Belgium or France. And it's really cute, but it's also always about, how do you say, young people doing funny stuff. And it's really cool. And it's also like, yeah, they're always doing shenanigans. We'll come to this later. But yeah, tap into your juice of life, and we see us in the next video.